We're going to talk about making pads and sort of filling in the backgrounds for tracks. This is a trance track I've been working on. So yeah, here's what we have so far. So yeah, what I got going on here is I have just a normal Vengeance kick, probably going to swap that out with a more hardstyle based kick later, but I just want to get this part figured out first. So we have our plucks, you have our pluck attacks, which is just ES2, we have the mids, which is silent, which is a pluck made by a good friend of mine, Lucas Moldowski. Thanks for the pluck, man, that sounds good. And then we also have the bass going. So we have a pretty full pluck sound going here, and then we have this nice sort of background pad thing. This is actually just a silent preset, LD spherical, which I sort of tweaked a little bit, and I threw on some averb in there to have it all sounding distant and stuff, so it sounds more pad-y, I guess. This is what it sounds like that. See, this is just way too intrusive. Sounds much better as a pad. I think it gives the track much more of a reverberant feel. So we're just going to go over how to make a pad for this. So I have the basic chord structure plunked out on the piano. So basically what's a good idea to do for pads is to find common tones and hold those, because a lot of times if you put those on pads, which have really long attack and release times, if you have chords moving rapidly like this, you're just going to get some kind of funky effects. So it looks like we have an F going through all of here. So yeah, I'm just going to sort of hold out some, I'm just going to get rid of this, going to delete that track, and just sort of place some chords in there. And of course, we're going to go ahead and quantize that. Make sure that fits. Yeah, when I'm producing, I often use this like piano track. I take it away in the end, of course. But just as a reference, so I'm putting in parts so I don't get too distracted by the other shit going on the track. So it looks like that fits pretty well. And, I'm just gonna... I actually sort of like having the F going through all there, so I'm just gonna take this F and really have that fill out the sound here. So hold that to the end. Cool, so now we can actually get some pads going on in here. I'm not that great just sort of starting off the bat with a saw wave and a lot of plugins. You can do that. I don't want you guys to watch me doing that because it takes forever. That's actually how I got this sound. You know, it's like not that interesting to watch, so I think it'd be a better use of my time to show how you can tweak presets to get a really cool sounding original pad. So we're just gonna go ahead, go in here, get some synthesizers going here, get some synth pads. Let's see how this one sounds. Cool. So it looks like the MIDI's sounding good. This pad's actually sounding pretty sick. But I don't like to use just naked presets as often as I can. So let's throw some filtering on here. I really like using the auto filter, and I like actually using these presets a lot because they're really cool. So let's get some rhythmic mod here, see if we can get more of a drive. Alright, got some frequencies in there. So that's actually very nice. I'm going to go ahead and mix that down. Again, throw some, let's see, it looks like we already got some reverb on here, but I like to use the Averb for synthesizer sounds usually. So yeah, we're going to switch that to Averb and make that room really big, make the mix a lot. Actually, I really don't like that auto filter after all, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that, layer that with a string patch. And then, see, that's so much better. Because I like the auto filter, but sometimes you can throw in some frequencies that really screw with your sound. And that makes you mix it out, and it's just a lot of extra work that I don't like doing, really. I like to get stuff as fast as possible. So it's still a little, so that texture is still a little dull. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that because I think it's faster to do that, and then just hit reset. Yeah, so we're going to reset that. I made myself a really nice stringy sort of sound with Silent. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and redo it. It's based off of the late mouse preset that you can find in Silent. It's a really great preset to do saws out of because it sounds really fat already. So yeah, late mouse. Or to make that, go ahead and make that more legato here. Just so it's not so abrupt, although we can sort of change that later. So I like doing this, get a nice real fat, real good sound going there. And then get our good old buddy, the EQ out, and just cut those highs out using the EQ. Actually, I'm going to move that up to this. I'm going to move that. I'm just going to keep that at that C. Generally, you want as little movement in your pads as possible. I'm going to keep that A in the other pad because it's not as audible, and it'll, make the chords sound a little bit fuller. So let's make this attack a little bit more graceful here. This is all just basic silence. There we go. See, this is already sounding pretty cool. Let's get a compressor on there. Get that nice and make that waveform nice and, nice and compressed, nice and like a sausage. Yeah, so let's see, what am I going to do now? I'm recording this on my computer speakers. A little bit more forgiving, a little harder to hear everything. I'm going to put some delay on there. In this case, I'm going to use the Stereo Designer. Sorry, not Stereo Designer. Delay Designer. Let's try this one out. And then we're going to blend this in with the rest of the mix. Alright, now that's pretty cool, right? I mean, we could stop there, but like, I think there's more that can be do. So I'm kind of hearing like a sort of vocal sound going on here. So let's pull up our good friend Logic Instruments. We're gonna want to do voices, choir. Ooh, I don't know. Let's try the Gregorian ensemble. Go ahead, throw that MIDI in there. Maybe just have. Oops. Throw that MIDI in there. See how that sounds. Now, see, I want sort of male voices. So let's go into our voice plugin here. Here's all the good stuff. What's this sound like? No. I want like a nice full male choir, you know. Chamber ensemble, male, classical male ensemble. So yeah, let's go ahead and take that down a couple octaves. There we go. I'm kind of hearing some frequencies in there, but I don't want to do too much mixing on here because these iMac speakers aren't that accurate, so. Yeah, let's get that attack a little nicer. There we go. See, this is sounding real cool. So cool. So we got the pad the way we want it, I think, or the way I'm hearing it. It'd be cool to get some like rhythmic material going though, but that's like not really part of the pad. I'd like to throw in an arpeggiator, but we'll do that later in this production. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of balancing out the texture here. Yeah, I might want to get... I think I'm going to duplicate that sound and get the high end back. Because I want sort of a fuller thing there. Because I want that choir, you know, to be fuzzy. So we're going to delete that, have them singing the same part. And put that up an octave. So then we're gonna, okay, what was I about to do? Okay, yeah, so we're gonna throw an effect on there, but what was it? Oh yeah, we're gonna put the reverb on there. Again, make it sound distant so it's more in the background. Because, you know, we want those two sounds to blend, right? You don't want to... Because, like, the problem is, like, with these sounds, like, they all sound so dorky by themselves, really. So then what I'm going to do is, it looks like, you know, these are cool the way they are, but if I want to build this track, you know, you're going to want to, what was it? Yeah, you're going to want to have it be like, you know, you're going to want to filter it. So, easiest way to do that in Logic is just throw these all into a bus channel, an auxiliary channel. Good thing I haven't used any yet, so we're just going to go ahead and then stereo out, bus 1, stereo out, bus. And so then we're going to go to this bus 1 channel and we're going to turn the automation to read. So we have our, I'm going to go ahead and name all these. Excuse me, this is choir automation. I mean, more pad automation. Then I'm going to call this male choir. And then, what is this? Oh yeah, male choir double saws. Pad, I'll just call this pad, saws, pad. And so another thing I like to do is I like to color all my tracks. I like to make the sort of the background stuff this nice blue color, and then the main stuff this red color, and then percussions I always make, percussion and drums, I always make black, black. And the main stuff here I like to make sort of purpley. So this way it's so much easier to see. So we're going to go ahead and throw auto filter on here. That's weird. So there's another effect we can do. We can just sort of do that, and then so that's, it's just, whatever. I'm going to work on this later. But you get the idea, you just stack stuff, you layer it. So, yeah, we can go ahead also put an EQ. No, I don't want to put an EQ on the output. Always leave your outputs blank, guys. So we can automate the EQ here, and then, like, channel EQ, high cut, on. Okay, and then channel EQ, high cut, frequency, and then see, we can just move this around. So we can go like, see, and I did that whooshing sound, but you see, like, now we can add in, like, see, we have all these new channels open for us to, work with. So I could do this, all night, but you get the idea. If we go ahead, bypass all the auto filters, see if I like that better, see if that does good. Oops. Ah, no. I actually think this is pretty nice effect here, but I want it to be blended, so I'm just going to go ahead and modify the dry signal. So yeah, now we have a cool pad, and we can automate it. We can do all sorts of things with this bus channel. It fits in nicely with the harmonies and with the melodies of the track. So basically, I mean, at this point in the development, I'd go ahead and do a basic arrangement of the track, and just move everything around so I can have an opening, middle, and close. I'd work on getting a nice sort of hard style kick in here, because I think that would work better. I'd do a final mix down where I would side chain everything to a kick or a ghost kick, depending on how well it fits together. So yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope this helped you. Bye.